Why do some teams rise under pressure while others fall apart? Not tactics, not money, psychology. Let's analyze football through one big framework, Ken Wilber's integral theory, which maps human development across 8 stages. Zoom out far enough and every match on the pitch is playing one of them out. Let's break it down. Here's the big idea. This isn't 8 tactics to pick from. It's a developmental spiral. Borrowed here from Ken Wilber's integral theory, the same 8 colors spiral dynamics mapped out. A team, a player, even a whole fan base moves through them, each one building on the one before it. That's what makes this a spiral, not just a formation. Beige, pure survival. Just get through the 90 minutes. Let's go deeper on beige. 6 things hold it together. Food, water, shelter, instinct, safety, rest. Food today, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. So today's match is what matters, not next season's fixture list. Water first, thirst crowds out every other thought until it's answered. Cramp doesn't care about the scoreline. Shelter is anywhere dry and safe enough to close your eyes, even a battered away dressing room after a brutal 90 minutes. Instinct decides before thought can catch up. The reflex save happens before the goalkeeper even knows they've moved. Safety means staying alert, because a reckless tackle doesn't announce itself. Rest is not laziness. Even survival has to stop and recover. Miss any of these and there's no next match to worry about. Beige doesn't experience the match as tactics or ego yet. It's the rawest layer underneath everything else. It's pure instinct. See the ball, react, don't think. Aside fighting relegation, scrambling through stoppage time on pure adrenaline, no shape left, just bodies flying at the ball, is beige exactly. So is a kid's very first touch of a football, chasing it on pure reflex before they've learned a single rule. So is a fan flinching in the stands as a shot flies straight toward their row. Every level has a healthy and an unhealthy side on the pitch. Healthy beige looks like presence, fully in your body for the next play, not lost in your head. It looks like resourcefulness, making the most of whatever's left in the tank. It looks like resilience, absorbing a bad result without falling apart. Unhealthy beige looks like hoarding the ball out of fear instead of playing what you see. It looks like neglect, ignoring what your body's telling you just to finish the 90. It looks like panic, hoofing it clear before you've even had time to think. Surviving completely alone doesn't win matches. A team gets safer and stronger the moment individuals start banding together, sharing the ball, sharing defensive duties, sharing an identity as one badge. That bond is where purple begins. Purple, tribal magic. The badge, the chance, safety, and the shirt. Let's go deeper on purple. 6 things hold it together. Ancestors, ritual, taboo, tribe. Spirits, belonging. Ancestors never really leave a club. The old legends are still watched, still judged against. Ritual done right, the same walk to the ground, the same seat, the same matchday song keeps the world friendly. Done wrong, it turns on you. Taboo marks the things a true supporter simply does not do, ever, like cheering for the wrong side. Tribe is identity. Outside the badge in this stadium, you're not really anyone. Spirits live in the old stand, the retired number. Nothing about the club is just a building. Belonging is safety. Watching alone was never really the same. Break the taboo and the tribe casts you out. Purple thinks in we before it ever thinks in I. Break from the badge, and a fan doesn't just lose a team to support, they lose part of who they are. A boyhood player signing for his hometown club purely because it's his club, wages barely entering the decision, is purple in a single choice. So is an entire away end bouncing in unison the instant the equalizer goes in. Nobody choreographed it. The whole end just moves as one. So is a whole city shutting down for a cup final, rival neighbors hugging in the street, because for one afternoon everyone belongs to the same tribe. Healthy purple looks like kinship, the kind of closeness that makes a stadium feel like family. It looks like reverence, treating the club as more than just a business. It looks like loyalty, showing up for your team no matter the table position. Unhealthy purple looks like superstition, blaming the officials instead of asking what went wrong on the pitch. It looks like scapegoating, deciding which player to blame keeps the terraces calm. It looks like conformity, booing along with the crowd even when you don't actually agree. But a badge that never lets anyone stand out can suffocate the players and fans inside it. Sooner or later, someone stops asking the group for permission and starts acting on their own will instead. That break is where red begins. Red, raw power, my ball, my glory right now. Let's go deeper on red. 6 things hold it together. Power, impulse, ego, fearless, dominance, guilt. Power decides who takes the free kick. Whoever's strongest on the ball sets the terms. Impulse sees an opening, wants it, and shoots, thinking comes later if at all. Ego is the center. The whole match exists around what red wants to do with the ball. Fearless means a reckless tackle's consequences are somebody else's problem later. Dominance is respect taken with a shoulder barge, not asked for politely. Guilt doesn't slow red down after a bad foul. It barely registers at all. Wind red up and you'll know about it immediately. Red is pure I, nothing fused, nothing shared. Whatever red wants, red goes and takes it, and the rest of the match is just the backdrop. A striker hogging the ball for one more shot at glory instead of squaring it to a teammate in space, no hesitation, no guilt, is red's whole operating system. So is a manager who rules the dressing room purely through fear, no explanation given, just obey. So is a supporter throwing a punch the second a rival makes contact, no thought, just retaliation. Healthy red looks like courage, taking the shot when everyone else looks for the safe pass. It looks like decisiveness, making the tackle and owning the consequences. It looks like protection, using your strength to shield a smaller teammate from a late challenge. Unhealthy red looks like bullying, strength used to intimidate a teammate, not protect them. It looks like recklessness, a tackle with no regard for who gets hurt. It looks like isolation, burning every relationship in the dressing room until nobody's left in your corner. A pitch full of reds acting purely on instinct collides with itself constantly. Nobody passes, nothing holds together for long. Eventually, exhausted by the chaos, a team agrees to hand control to something bigger than any one player, a system everyone follows. That agreement is where blue begins. Blue, order and discipline. One system, one right way to play. Let's go deeper on blue. 6 things hold it together. Order, rules, duty, hierarchy, truth, discipline. Order means every player has their position, a shape stable enough to trust. Rules are what keep that shape standing, break the offside line, and the whole structure shakes. Duty means tracking back even when you'd rather not. Hierarchy gives every player a role, and the system needs every role filled. Truth, to blue, is singular. One correct way to defend a corner, worth defending to the letter. Discipline pays out later. First, you drill the shape until it's automatic. Step out of position, and the manager's guilt trip kicks in fast. Blues, we has grown bigger and gone impersonal, not a dressing room you can see, but an institution, a rule book, a governing body everyone answers to. A fullback holding the offside line strictly on the manager's orders, whether or not they personally agree with the call, is blue in a single choice. So is a referee applying the letter of the law, even though everyone in the stadium can see it changes nothing. So is a supporter's trust insisting the club follow its own constitution to the letter, no exceptions, no matter how minor the breach. Healthy blue looks like integrity, doing the right thing on the pitch even when the referee isn't looking. It looks like reliability, showing up for every training session exactly when you said you would. It looks like fairness, applying the same standard to every player, no exceptions for the star man. Unhealthy blue looks like rigidity, one system, and zero room to adapt when it's not working. It looks like judgment, quick to blame a teammate before asking what actually happened. It looks like control, a manager mistaking obedience for genuine discipline. But a system built to apply to every player equally leaves no room for anyone to stand out. Someone starts asking why, testing the system instead of just obeying it, and finds out the old way wasn't as fixed as it looked. That question is where orange begins. Orange, ambition and strategy. Winning, transfers, data over dogma. Let's go deeper on orange. 6 things hold it together. Ambition, strategy, competition, winning, success, science. Ambition means there's always a next place in the table to chase, standing still feels like falling behind. Strategy calculates every substitution. Emotion is a variable to manage, not follow. Competition means someone wins and someone loses. Orange plans to be the one lifting the trophy. Winning is proven by the table, not the performance. If you're not measuring it, you're not really trying. Success speaks through results, louder than a brave performance in defeat. Science trusts what the data shows. Expected goals beat gut feeling every time, fall behind the metrics, and orange finds a way to fix it. Orange steps outside the game and starts measuring everything. Even the manager's own touchline behavior becomes something to track and optimize. A club running every transfer decision through an analytics model before a scout ever watches a match live is thinking in pure orange. So is a player obsessively checking their sprint stats and expected goals numbers to justify their next contract. So is a fan refreshing the transfer news the second the window opens, because every uncounted minute feels like a deal lost. Healthy orange looks like innovation, finding a better shape instead of the same old system. It looks like confidence, believing your team can figure out any press. It looks like drive, showing up to training again after a bad defeat. Unhealthy orange looks like greed, a season that's never quite successful enough no matter the trophies. It looks like exhaustion, playing through injury because stopping feels like losing your place. It looks like manipulation, bending the truth in a press conference if it protects the result. Chasing the next result eventually gets lonely, the table doesn't care how you feel, and neither does anyone else who's still chasing it too. A dressing room starts reaching for each other again, not to win anything, just to actually be heard. That reach is where green begins. Green, equality and empathy. Every voice in the dressing room matters. Let's go deeper on green. 6 things hold it together: equality, empathy, consensus, community, voice, inclusion. Equality means no single star's opinion outweighs a squad player's. Every perspective deserves the floor. Empathy means feeling what it's like to be the one left out of the matchday squad. Consensus means the group doesn't move forward until everybody's actually been heard, even if the team talk runs long. Community means the club isn't really thriving until every fan feels like they belong too. Voice means a young player's concerns aren't noise to brush off, they're information worth hearing. Inclusion keeps the dressing room widening until no one feels like an outsider. Leave someone out, and the group notices immediately. Green lets go of the idea that any one tactical view is simply right. What works depends on where you're standing, and every player's perspective deserves a hearing before the team decides anything. A captain going around the circle in the huddle, letting every player speak before the team talk moves on, is Green's instinct made visible. So as a group of fans linking arms for a charity cause, none of them are personally paid to care about. So as a coach asking a struggling player how they're actually feeling, before ever asking about their touch count. Healthy green looks like compassion, feeling what a struggling teammate is carrying. It looks like cooperation, building a result together instead of chasing individual glory. It looks like openness, willing to change your role for what the team needs. Unhealthy green looks like groupthink, mistaking agreement in the dressing room for the right tactical call. It looks like indecision, so busy including every voice that the team talk never actually ends. It looks like resentment, quietly punishing any teammate who won't fall in line with the group. Beige through green make up Tier 1, and here's the catch. Every Tier 1 level believes its own way of playing the game is the only right way. They compete, they judge each other. A match can feel like a zero-sum fight for survival or dominance or discipline or the result. That's not a flaw. It's how each level protects what it fought so hard to build. Growth isn't the only direction either. Enough pressure, and any team can slide back down to an earlier level, a disciplined shape collapsing into raw scrambling when the crisis is big enough. It's not permanent. It's the same protection, just aimed at an older threat. If you've enjoyed this one, a quick subscribe would genuinely help this channel keep making videos like it. Now, back to the pitch. Then something shifts. But a dressing room trying to make every voice equally heard can grind to a halt, endless conversation. No actual team talk decision. Someone stops trying to make everyone happy and starts asking what this specific match actually needs. That question is where yellow begins. Yellow, systems thinking. Flexible, functional, sees the whole pitch. Let's go deeper on yellow. 6 things hold it together. Systems, flexibility, integration, functionality, complexity, perspective. Systems means no player stands alone, every role only makes sense inside the whole shape. Flexibility means the right formation depends on the opponent, not a fixed philosophy. Integration keeps what still works from every earlier system the club has tried. Functionality asks what actually wins this match here now, not which tactic is fashionable. Complexity means a simple game plan is usually wrong against a good side, and yellow can hold the mess. Perspective means stepping back far enough that even a bad result makes sense. Force a simple game plan on a complex match, and it breaks. Yellow steps back far enough to see the whole pitch, including its own team's seat in that picture. It isn't defending one fixed system, it's watching how every system fits the moment, and why each one earned its place in the first place. A manager switching from a back 3 to a back 4 in the middle of a match, not out of panic, but because the game itself changed shape, is thinking in yellow. So as a player who reads the whole pitch and drifts into space no coach explicitly told them to find. So as a pundit who stops arguing which formation is the one correct answer and starts explaining why each one wins in a different context. Healthy yellow looks like adaptability, changing shape the moment the match does. It looks like clarity, seeing the pattern the crowd is too close to notice. It looks like balance, holding a complex game plan without needing to oversimplify it. Unhealthy yellow looks like detachment, so busy analyzing the system you stop feeling the players in it. It looks like overthinking, circling the tactical change until the moment for it is gone. It looks like arrogance, quietly certain you're the only one who really understands the game. Even a perfect read of the system is still a read, a manager standing outside the game looking in. At some point, the watching and the match being watched stop feeling separate. That's where Turquoise begins. Turquoise. Global game. Everyone connected, one living match. Let's go deeper on Turquoise. 6 things hold it together. Global. Connection, consciousness, holism, interdependence. Unity. Global means the borders were never real, one planet, one game everyone somehow already knows. Connection means pull one thread of the game and the whole match moves, nothing happens in isolation on the pitch. Consciousness becomes the game itself, not just what a player thinks, but how the whole team senses it together. Holism means the individual moments matter less than the pattern the whole match makes together. Interdependence means your team's shape and the opponent's shape were never actually separate questions. Unity holds every level, every era, every style of football, as still one game, still one thing. Forget the connection, and the whole team feels it. Turquoise doesn't just observe the match from outside anymore, it feels itself as part of it. There's no more a self analyzing the game from outside. Just the game, aware of itself, with 11 particular vantage points currently called a team. A player who forgets where their own instinct ends and their teammates' movement begins, playing a pass to space nobody has run into yet, is close to what Turquoise means by whole. So is an entire stadium going quiet together, all at once, without anyone signaling it, because the moment simply asked for it. So is a World Cup final where rival fans embrace afterward, because for a moment the game mattered more than which side either of them was on. Healthy Turquoise looks like harmony, holding every part of the game without needing to fix it. It looks like wisdom, knowing when to press and when to simply let the game breathe. It looks like wonder, staying open to how much of the game is still unknown. Unhealthy Turquoise looks like passivity, so busy accepting every result that nothing actually changes. It looks like grandiosity, mistaking one great performance for having the whole game figured out. It looks like escapism, floating above the sport instead of actually playing it. Yellow and Turquoise are Tier 2, and Tier 2 changes the game entirely. Instead of competing with the other levels, it understands them. It sees that every level, even the ones before it, was necessary for what came next. It doesn't reject the ladder of the game's development. It finally sees the whole ladder at once. Tier 1 asks, who's right about how to play? Tier 2 asks, what does this specific match actually need? Growth usually starts the same way. Notice where your own level turns unhealthy, on the pitch or in the stands, and lean toward what's healthy in the next one. And this same lens doesn't stop at football. The same pattern shows up in teams, organizations, whole cultures, everywhere Ken Wilber's integral theory applies. 8 levels, 2 tiers, 1 game. Which one are you? Drop it below.